Lebanon was rocked by a pager strike, the new face of precision warfare. At least 12 people were killed and some 3,000 injured, including the Iranian ambassador to Lebanon, when thousands of pagers exploded nearly simultaneously in Lebanon. The attack, which purportedly targeted members of the Hezbollah group, caused havoc in the civilian areas and overwhelmed hospitals. So, who was behind it and how did this all take place? And even as we speak, for a second day, there are reports of communication devices exploding across Lebanon and in the southern suburbs of the capital, Beirut. First, let's tell you what happened. Detonation started around 3:30 p.m. local time in Beirut. Synchronized detonation lasted for almost an hour. Some detonations took place after the pagers rang. Victims put their hands on the pagers or checked screens. Blasts appeared to only to wound the person wearing the pager. So what caused the pager blasts? And imported pagers have been intercepted. They were rigged with plastic explosives. 3 grams of explosives per pager. Message was sent and that detonated the explosives and the explosives went undetected for months. Now there is also another explanation that some code was sent into these instruments which caused the lithium batteries in them to overheat and then cause the explosions. Even now we're given to understand walkie-talkies are exploding and this continues. Nadav Steinman, Board Chair, International Legal Forum, is with us. Namaste and good evening. Thank you for your time. Who's
good evening,
behind this?
thank you.
Is this even possible? This is next level precision warfare, Nadav.
Well, we know that it's possible because it happened, right? If we concentrate on the facts themselves are quite clear. The idea of it being precision attack is an interesting concept because it's a concept under international law of war. That there is the concept of being a precision attack is one that is permissible under international law. That if this is an act that we can, an act of the Israeli government, which has not yet been proven, but if it was, then it is certainly completely justifiable in the extent of its precision against people, its severe lack of collateral damage, and it's also its proportionality. If we avoid all the rhetoric as much as possible, and if we concentrate on the facts themselves, we know that Nasrallah himself is the one who ordered that his members of Hezbollah were not permitted to carry cell phones. We know as well that Hezbollah is the one who ordered these pagers. We know as well that they were all in the hands of members of Hezbollah, although it does question why the Iranian minister to Lebanon also had one in his possession. Furthermore, we know that the attack happened almost instantaneously against all of these pagers. So if it was something of a foreign government, and if that foreign government was Israel, who has been under attack by Hezbollah for almost a year, where they launched more than 8,000 missiles against Israel, then this precision attack is one that would be permissible under international law and should hopefully provide a deterrent against Hezbollah to continue their attacks, and the deterrence factor. And then again,
but someone has to have given them access, because this deal was, if it was a closed deal and it was ordered specifically for Hezbollah cadre, someone has to have breached this security wall to be able to push this code or whatever that triggered these devices to explode. Nadav.
Clearly, I agree with you. There would have to be a coordinated attack, not just from remote sources. I mean, I don't know enough of the technology to be able to provide you with some additional insight, but clearly this is coordinated at many levels. You know,
but you believe that under international law, this is permissible because it's precision?
An attack that is precision, a precision and proportional attack, are attacks that are permitted under international laws of war. Also, if the pagers themselves are being held by members of Hezbollah, which we know that to be a fact, and they're using them for communication, which is, we know what their intent is for communication, and it is used by soldiers of a terrorist organization, we also know that it is a legitimate military target. And the device themselves, as well as anybody who is holding those devices, that is a legitimate military target. So all of those matters, if you take a checklist of what is needed as a, call it,
so it ticks those boxes. But so far Israel hasn't said that they did it. Everybody believes they did, but they haven't said they did it. Nadav, thank you. So they live in that plausible deniability clause where everyone knows they did it, but they themselves have not admitted to it. Thank you very much. We're going to wind up this edition of The Right Stand on that note. Brass Tacks with Zaka Jacob up next. Stay with us.
Powered by
graphics for our viewers, just to give you a good sense. Look at these beautiful shikaras. We've got our shikaras to tell our viewers, about the